Hey guys, in this video, we're going to go over a TikTok advertising strategy that you're probably not going to find anywhere else. Reason being is because I go over advanced back-end knowledge that most people aren't aware of. Okay, I've generated over 11 million in sales over the past 4 years, primarily through TikTok ads, a bit on Facebook, and various other platforms. And the reason I was able to do this was because I studied the bidding algorithm inside and out. I figured out how to get my dropshipping funnel the best possible odds of success through tons of trial and error. And in this video, I'm going to condense all of that knowledge I've learned into a consumable short video. But on a quick note before we start, if you haven't already, please start with TikTok organic strategies. Do not jump right into paid ads without doing this because it's going to be very risky. You need a good understanding of your market fit, your target audience, and you need to be confident with your entire dropshipping funnel before moving to paid ads. If you want the entire full advanced strategy with hours worth of in-depth content, you can click on the link right in the description to get access to the entire 20-hour dropshipping course I'm giving away for $10. And if you haven't already, go watch my TikTok organic free advertising strategy to build a foundation for your brand. But let's jump right into it. This video is structured into 5 pillars, starting with how the bidding algorithm works, the scaling blueprint, creating advertisements, TikTok settings, and lastly, how to actually profit. Starting with pillar number 1, how the bidding algorithm works. So in order to get a good understanding of TikTok ads, we need to take a look at the back end and get a basic understanding of how it even works. TikTok is an adapting algorithm that constantly is taking millions of variables into account every time you run a new ad. They're looking at metadata on your advertisements to see what category of video it is. They're looking at how much you're bidding, how much budget you're spending, the quality of your account, how many flags your account has gotten, the video quality of your advertisements, how relevant it is with your audience, how long they watch the ad for, etc., etc. So the easiest way to describe it is kind of like an adaptation machine in the wild. Survival of the fittest. Your advertising campaign is going to be going through this massive learning process, and in the beginning, tons of your targeting options and ads will die out because they won't survive in the market. So how do we combat this? How do we give ourselves the best possible chance of success on the TikTok ad platform? The answer is variation. Just like the birds you saw in the last slide, if we don't have variation and test tons of advertisements and targeting settings, we're going to die off. And the more data you feed the algorithm, the better, because every time someone purchases from your store, TikTok's going to track all the characteristics of who bought it and then slowly build a prototype of who is interested in your products. The more data it gets, the more profitable you become over time. Now, let's go over an important concept called initial conditions and how this plays a massive role in the success of your ad account. And what initial conditions are is simply this. During the first week of advertising, TikTok is going to work with all the targeting you give it to build an initial prototype customer. If you start advertising with a very narrow audience with very specific targeting options, you're basically just guessing who's going to buy your product, and it may be wrong. If it's wrong, TikTok will build this foundational prototype in the completely wrong mold, and every single ad you make in the future will get horrible results due to this issue. Don't feed it bad data in the beginning. Let's use its power to look at a broad audience and figure out who will buy your product. So please do yourself a favor and start with broad targeting options. Now let's go over pillar 2, scaling blueprint. Starting out, there's 3 different phases you'll go through. Phase number 1, when first starting out, for every ad you post, you should be testing at least 5 to 10 different audiences for that ad. And you should be testing at least around 10 to 20 different ads. So in total, you should have around 50 to 200 ad sets with a different ad and a different audience for every single one. The more data you give it, the more accurate it will be in the long run. The bidding strategy should be on lowest cost bidding, and the demographics should be broad, or if it's a gender age specific product, then test within those realms. I'll go over all the details of each advertising setting in pillar 4, but for now, this is how you need to initially structure your campaign. As time goes on, you're going to simply kill the ad sets that are not at least close to break even, and then increase budget on the ad sets that are working by around 20% every single day. But you should only start this optimization process once you've gotten around 100 purchases in total, and there's enough data to work with, because without data, you're just guessing. Once we've surpassed this phase and gotten at least 100 purchases from this campaign, then we're going to move on to phase number 2, and that's taking all the winning ad sets, duplicating them into a new campaign, and starting our manual bidding process. We're going to find the average cost per result from your previous campaign, which is how much it costs us to acquire one customer essentially. And then we're going to set the budgets on cost cap bidding to that same cost per result amount. So if it costs you $40 to acquire a customer, for example, then you're going to set the cost cap bids at $40 for all your winning ad sets. We're going to let that run for a few days and then slowly start duplicating the ad sets into lower bids. And it depends on how much you're selling your product for, but you can typically lower it by $2 to $4 every time. Then if your ad sets start running and it's a success, you can continue lowering and lowering until you've gotten to the point where it's not spinning anymore. This is when you know you found the sweet spot. Once that's found, you can start scaling it to the moon with your ads, and this is where the big money is made. Moving on to phase number 3 of this pillar, now we have to ensure our ads do not reach entropy, because people typically see massive fluctuations with profitability and notice their ads slowly decline at this stage. And what advertisers typically do at this stage is they try tactics like deleting their pixel and creating a new one to reset all the data that the algorithm has built up. And from the front end, this may work for a little bit, but in reality, you're just shooting yourself in the foot. Like I was saying earlier, TikTok ads is a natural selection machine that requires variation. So you need to film more ads, you need to target new audiences, and you need to test all sorts of new things in order to get in front of more people, because you'll start saturating the market with your product. So simply put, restart all 3 phases over again with new audiences, new ads, and new everything, and allow the algorithm to continue learning, or else it'll die out. Also, by this time, I'd highly suggest creating an omnipresence and moving over to Facebook ads, moving over to Snapchat ads, Reddit ads, multiple different platforms to ensure survivability so you can start reaching that 7 and 8 figure mark. Also, make sure you're actually creating a brand rather than a dropshipping store, because dropshippers typically get caught up in the logistics of this whole TikTok advertising algorithm and completely forget to focus on their brand awareness and market dominance. You want to make sure that you're the number 1 seller on the market for whatever product you're selling by building up your social media to the maximum possible extent, hiring social media managers, paying influencers to do posts, working out big brand deals, etc. This is when you really start to become a real big brand and jump out of that little fish pond. Or if you simply cannot find any more success and you're losing too much money due to lack of experience or whatever it may be, you can exit the business and sell your brand to another entrepreneur. Typically, you can sell it for whatever the monthly income is multiplied by 7 to 10x. So if you're profiting $30K a month, for example, that's at least around $200,000 you could sell it for. And at that point, you can move on to selling information, selling services, starting another dropshipping brand, and repeating the process, whatever your heart desires. Anyways, let's get back into the strategy. Let's go over pillar number 3, creating advertisements. And I'm not going to get too in depth with this because creating advertisements is the same as creating organic TikTok content, and that's covered in my other TikTok organic video, but we're going to go over the main gist of how the ads need to look. Firstly, all ads need to be in UGC form, which means user-generated content. It needs to look like a normal TikTok video coming from a person rather than a brand. This way we disguise ourselves as a normal, engaging video someone would typically watch on TikTok without them immediately skipping past us. Reason being for this is because TikTok is a fast swiping platform. If you run ads anywhere else, it doesn't need to be UGC, but on TikTok, it definitely needs to be UGC, or else people are gonna be skipping right past you. Now, you can either do this in 1 or 2 ways. 1, you can ship the products to your house and film all the ads yourself, which I'd highly recommend with a low budget or if you're just a creative person. And option 2 is going on the TikTok UGC Center and paying an already established influencer to film the UGC content for you. And this is especially helpful if you're working with high-end creators on TikTok who know what they're doing. Really quickly though, hit that subscribe button and like this video if you're finding this helpful so far, or check out the link in my description for over 20 hours worth of advanced dropshipping content for only $10. Next, for pillar 4, we're going to go over how to specifically set up the campaign and make sure your targeting and settings are dialed in properly. First things first, we need to install the pixel. It's a pretty simple process. You're basically going to just follow the instructions that TikTok gives you, install the pixel code into the header of your website, and then track URLs in the event builder. You'll use the TikTok Pixel Helper Chrome extension to test if everything works properly. You can watch a separate video on this if you need more detailed instructions, but once that's finished, we need to go in and add at least $10 into the account to be able to create a campaign. Once that's finished, go back to creating a campaign, choose custom mode, click website conversions always, because we want to tell the algorithm to optimize for purchases rather than anything else. We can leave smart performance campaign alone, name our campaign, and then click continue. From here, we'll select our pixel and then optimize for purchase. Leave all of this alone, select English as the languages, and then depending on your budget or how fast you want to achieve results, we can change the budget here. We'll do the minimum budget of $20 per day. We'll keep this on run continuously. For day parting, we'll keep this at all day. That way we give the algorithm more room to bid on ads and get better placements throughout the entire day. Once your campaign starts performing well, you can start day parting into only running on the evenings and test that out. Next, for bid strategy, we keep this at lowest cost. And then lastly, for the ad, you'll just upload your ad into here and then connect your TikTok account. And if you have a organic account, you can run Spark ads to the top performing ads. That way you can boost your posts and appear as if you're getting tons of organic views and build more trust with customers. For the text, you'll find some good copyright for your funnel and throw in a CTA, call to action. We can keep the call to action at dynamic and let TikTok test different buttons for us if we want. Why not? Lastly, we'll throw in the URL and hit submit, and then we're good to go. Lastly, for pillar 5, we have how to actually profit. And I'm just going to quickly go over some final thoughts on how you're going to find success with dropshipping on TikTok ads. And there's a few things that you're going to absolutely need with your sales funnel to actually profit. You should confirm all these things are in place before running ads, starting with number 1. Do you already have a built up TikTok organic account with social proof? If you have a TikTok account with lots of views, followers, comments, etc., it's going to make a massive difference with your profitability because people will be able to see that you're a real brand and their trust will skyrocket. I really want to nail that point in here. If for whatever reason you don't want to make an organic account and go build your foundation, you can use justanotherpanel.com to buy lots of fake followers and engagement for an extremely low price. If I wanted to, I could literally buy 1 million TikTok views for $1. And if you need to jumpstart the process, you can do this, but it may hurt your organic reach. Keep that in mind. Number 2, audience correlation. Does your entire dropshipping funnel correlate with your target audience? Have you figured out the exact type of person interested in your product? Have you placed the product at a comfortable price for them to impulsively purchase? And does your TikToks and copyright correlate with wants over needs? Does it align with the audience's desires? You can click the link in the description for a few of my free Google Docs that'll help you correlate your funnel with your customer to make sure you have a good market fit. Number 3, product. Is your product a want over a need? Is it something your target audience would impulsively purchase? Is it ideally $20 to $60? Is it targeted towards the ages of 18 and 30? If so, you found a good dropshipping product that will perform well on TikTok ads. Number 4, website. Does your website have lots of flashy videos, pictures, and GIFs? Does it have copywriting that entices curiosity? And does it have enough trust building variables like hundreds of product reviews, pictures, or fake pictures of your business, established in the USA signs, etc.? Also, do you list the shipping time as at least under that 10-day shipping time frame? And does your website look like a professional brand rather than a dropshipping store? Because people will sniff that out quickly if you try taking the shortcut on web design. And then lastly, number 5, maximizing order value. Does your website maximize its order value, its average order value, by having an upsell on the thank you page with a correlating product? And does it have a cross-sell on the checkout page, maybe enticing people to buy a second or multiple of the same product? Does it have high shipping price plus tax included in the order? And lastly, are you retargeting customers through email and SMS? We want to have lead magnets on the website and be able to convert those leads over time. Okay, so we need to do everything in our absolute power to make sure we're squeezing out every little possible profit in order to make sure our ads perform well on TikTok. But yeah, that's going to cover all 5 pillars. Remember that everything I outlined in this video is an advanced, proper way of running TikTok ads. This is not guesswork. This is not subjective theory. This information has been accumulated over the span of many years from all the brands I've ever scaled, and also aligns with other 7-figure dropshippers who have proven to be successful with this as well. If you want a full 20-hour course on the entire process of running a dropshipping business, click on the link in the description to get all of it for only $10. No other hidden charges or anything like that. I'm just genuinely trying to give you as much value as possible. And yeah, that's going to cover this video, guys. Remember to subscribe and like for more strategies just like this one, and I'll see you guys soon.